How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm excited. Finally,
Me
we got
too.
you in here.
Yeah.
Congratulations to your role as Dru.
Thank you.
First, I want to say that. I really enjoyed this season. I won't lie, I was kind of skeptical of how like Power Book 2 would actually be coming off of Power. And I
Mm,
think that the cast is dope. So congratulations.
thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a
So
great pleasure to be a part of it.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. What has it been like playing a character like Dru, who is playing, he is a homosexual, he's gay, he's actually he's hiding it though. For the most part, I feel like he's hiding it. And what was that like for you to play a character such as that?
Well, I actually don't think that Dru is hiding it at all. I think he's very open about his sexuality, but it's not a lot of people's business, right? So it's about, what's the main priority for him whenever he, navigates the street environment or when he has to do his job, right? His job is a priority. And it's only until we, as the audience, see him in his private life where we get to see that aspect of him. So getting into, step into Dru's shoes and play this role was nothing short of a privilege. And I'll always be grateful to be able to embody this character and tell the truth as much as I can, as well as I can through this vessel.
Yeah, so the reason I guess I felt like he was hiding it was because when it comes down to his work, it's very hush-hush.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And when it comes down to his family, it's very hush-hush. But I do agree with you for the most part. He still lives his truth.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait, or I'm hoping that that can actually trickle into, like, his street life. So I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah.
What prepared you for a role such as that?
Honestly, I think a lot of the work that we do as actors is to deepen our empathetic capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And, be able to step into these different characters' lives and stories and, do research based on, the people in our lives and whatnot. So for me, being able to embody all aspects of Dru, being able to just go from a place of empathy, and these are some of these experiences I don't know about, and they're not my life. I am not scrutinized in my daily personal life for whether I'm being closeted gay or openly, and it's so I don't have that as a prejudice on my shoulders all the time, right? So being a person who is privileged in that respect, it's even more important and more imperative that I am sensitive and that I am aware of my privileges and aware of what's going on in the community and with my brothers and sisters around me. So keeping my ear to the ground, making sure I am keeping my heart open, and again, keeping my empathetic as deep as it possibly can be. And, like, I believe we can do all things through God, right? So if I'm just being a vessel and being open for these kind of stories to go through me, then I don't got to worry about much else, to be honest.
Yes, I love that, especially because representation matters. Like, we have shows like Pose where we get to see that type of characters. We're seeing Dru and something like that, where you don't get to see someone who is a gangster being gay, you know what I mean? So I appreciate Power Book making that character and you actually bringing so much empathy and so much love to that character. So with your family, you had Mary J. Blige as your mother.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. What was that dynamic like, working with someone like her on set?
Well, working with Mary is a gift. First of all, like, I grew up listening to her music and, and having her flood my house with her sound and with her powerful vocals. So to be able to be in a space now and get to work with her, get to interact with her in any capacity, shape, or form, it's just a huge gift, a huge gift. And the day we first actually got to sit down and, talk about character stuff and scene stuff, she took the lead. She was very open and just kind of broke down any kind of, because it's only you as a person that's going to bring your preconceived notions and stuff like that, So before she dispels any of that, as soon as you get to meet her and get to sit down and talk with her and get to vibe and stuff. And so she's just really a generous person, and get to be on set with her is really fun. She's mad funny.
I love that. I'm jealous. I'd be joking all day on set. I'd be like, can you break a dance for me real quick? Do you ever get tempted? I think I would.
Oh, hell no. No. See, like, it's funny because, especially with COVID, when you're shooting in this particular world now, I mean, I guess I speak for myself. I don't want to talk to nobody anymore.
Okay.
Like, because I got a mask on. And
Yeah.
I can hardly breathe as it is. So now I'm wearing this mask and I'm like trying to have the same interactions we would normally have, you know, when we're not wearing a mask. I'm just like, honestly, I'd rather not just like, I just want to keep my head down now at this point, you know, and just not be breathing in my own oxygen every 5 seconds.
No,
you know,
I get that.
It's about, you know.
Yeah. And so you guys were filming the whole entire scenes, like the whole set through COVID?
We shot up until episode 8 for the first season, and then we had to shut down because of COVID, and then go back. So it was like very much so a new experience, you know, having to jump in after COVID and the restrictions and all that kind of stuff. So it was very interesting. But like I monitor my energy. I'm like, man, I don't want to come in on set and be like full of attitude and upset. I gotta wear this mask on my face. So like. I have to conserve whatever energy I can to make sure that, because it's like, trust me, man, like you want to sit there and laugh and joke with your friends and shit like that, and then they come in and be like, you gotta put your mask on. You're just like,
pissed off. Now you're annoyed.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, and you want to make sure you following the rules and making sure that you respect everybody's space and boundaries. So it's just like, I saw this thing on the bus in the subway that actually kind of like disturbed me a little bit, but it's kind of like testament to what's really going on. So it's like, I don't know if you're in New York?
I'm in Jersey.
You're in Jersey? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was on, what train were we on? I think we were on the Q. And there was this like, I don't know if you've seen on the subway, they got these banisters and stuff like that now, where it's just like how to wear your mask properly, these little yellow things. And one of them was like, if you're talking to somebody beside you, it was like literally just 2 people talking with their masks off. And it was like, that's bad. Right? And it was like 2 people talking with their masks on, that's better. And 2 people just sitting there on their phones not talking at all was the best. And I was like, is nobody seeing this?
Right. So don't talk at all. Don't,
you know
don't talk at all.
Like, that's kind of what they want you to do. And like again, like being on set and with these masks on, like it makes me feel that way. Like I'm like, I can't interact with anybody like I want to. I can't express the joy that I want to express. But at the same time, like the benefit of that is that you're keeping everybody safe.
Right.
So if I gotta put my feelings and emotions to the side just to make sure I'm safe and that we can actually work, then doesn't matter. But yeah, like just based on the interaction and stuff like that, and connection with everybody is like, it's a little bit harder to do for me, I find, with a mask on my face the whole time.
And speaking of like with the cast, how was it for you? You came on to this set with this cast where most of them kind of already knew each other. Well, not most, but some. How was that coming for you? Were you any nerves? Were you kind of scared that you may not fit in? Did you have any of those feelings?
They did a really good job making us all feel welcome and welcoming us to the Power family. So it wasn't so much like, okay, this is Power, you guys are new guys. It was like, you're now a part of it. And you guys all have these great things and great things of value to contribute to what we're going to continue to build as the Power universe. And so, whatever nerves you had on the first day, like we had, the natural nerves at the table read, everybody's there in this environment. And you're like, oh, like, but those were easily like knocked away after like the first table read, Right. Now you're really a part of the family. As soon as to me, a lot of the pressure comes off as soon as we get that first scene in the can. So as soon as I'm like, okay, we shot something, like it's now in there, So I'm like, I can't really do nothing about that now. So now I might as well just relax and continue just to be and let the things evolve, let the scenes evolve, let the character evolve, everything evolve, the relationships, all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Speaking of evolve, how do you hope Dru will evolve in the next season? Like, what could we look for? I know you probably can't give too many spoilers, but hopefully a little one. Can we expect?
I think we can expect Dru to come out of this situation that we saw him in the end of season 1 a lot harder, a lot stronger.
Okay. I like that. And I have a question. Like, I kind of feel like Monet kind of plays her own sons against each other in a sense. How did you being Dru? So let's take it from Dru's standpoint and not you being Lovell. Do you trust that Monet is really like, oh, I think you're so strong, I think that you're gonna be the one better than Kane to lead the family? Or do you think that Dru is kind of like on to his mom?
I don't think it's as Dru, I don't sense any malice from my mom.
Okay.
I sense that we're looking out for the good of the family. We have to make sure things are in order and in operation. We gotta wait till Daddy gets out. So like the moves that we're making are all strategic. So she feels like, from my perspective, anyways, that Ma's feeling like she's doing the best that she can for the family, right? Mm-hmm. So the best thing in the family is, okay, now you got take the lead on these things and replace Kane in that way. But Dru doesn't want to do that, right? Dru he doesn't want family against each other, especially it's my big brother. Like, and I love him, no matter how crazy he is. I love him, and I just want to make sure that we're all good. I want to make sure that we're moving, in order. And to be honest, if Kane gets to be back in the family, then that means that there's less pressure on me as Dru to like have to do family things. As the business is moving in order and stuff, then I can still, be married to my art and be married to my craft.
And live your life.
Live my life.
Literally live your life.
Yeah.
What made you want to become an actor?
Oh man, watching Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when I was a kid. Looking at, like, I grew up watching a bunch of comedies, and like Jamie Foxx was the guy I used to be watching on. And Jamie Foxx, I just talk about Jamie Foxx for a second and how amazingly talented that man is. Like, just multifaceted. Like, this guy can do everything. Yeah. Like, he'll show you just something that he can do, and you're like, I never knew he could do that. He probably do backflips, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is one of my favorites.
He's outstanding. He's outstanding, man. So watching, their work and growing up and just seeing the characters that they embodied, and I didn't know much about acting when I was a kid, except for what we learned in school, right? So I remember I was auditioning for college, and I took a monologue from I Am Legend and just used that as my entry, my like audition piece, and it worked. And I was like, cool. And I thought that the best actor is the one who can have the most powerful voice.
Yes.
That was something I always felt before. Like, I was like, I can yell, I can act. Like, that's it. And
but so, that's not it, is it?
No, not at all. That was easily like, no. But there is a truth to the stronger your voice is as an actor, the more capable you are as an actor. And I don't mean the more like booming your voice is. I mean the clearer your voice is as an artist, right? And the stronger your actual physical voice is, that you can actually have access to the depth of your voice. It makes you just be able to tap into more of your instrument as an actor.
Wow.
And a lot of voice work and a lot of body work is hand in hand, right?
I love learning that because I studied film. So like I always, when I watch movies and shows, maybe I do it too much, I try to break down a character. I try to break down the director's viewpoint. So to hear that, I like that. That's a teaching method for me. Thanks for that.
Anytime. It's very important. And it's funny because the film medium now, I guess, it's changing, and you have Jonathan Majors coming out and just being this powerful artist and a fearless person, and Daniel Kaluuya, same thing. But I feel like, for the most part, our television and film, it can get lost in the shuffle of this like quiet and composed and contained performance. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the actors who always find a way to transcend that medium are the ones who continue to use the depth and the strength of their voice, even when it has to be contained, right? So now it's not so much like, because you hear it all the time with theater actors versus film actors. Like, the theater actors that come from theater school and that train don't know how to translate over to film and television because they're trying to be too big. And then it's because people have no time to actually explain that you're not being too big. It's that you are expressing when you need to be internalizing.
So that's the difference between the two. And I love me some Broadway, so that is dope to know.
You know what I'm saying? So you can do the same piece on Broadway that you can do on film, but now it's not so much that you're going to be singing out; it's now you're going to be singing in, right? Yes. Now it's an internal song instead of this like thing that you have to show to everybody, right? It's the same with the writing for a play. That's why plays are so dialogue heavy and films aren't. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of plays and how people play off of each other, I feel like Kane, Diana, and Dru all play off so well. You guys have great chemistry on camera. What went into that?
Honestly, just us hanging out. You know, the show does a really good job at like making sure that we connect, and it's so easy. They're so accessible. They're so easy to down to earth to talk to and to speak with and to chill with and stuff. So it was just easy. Like, and Toya, day one, Toya was like, she sat right beside me, and we found out we're the same age, and we're coming from a similar background, and our audition stories were the same. And I was just like, I love this girl. She's hilarious. Like, her energy is just so like, she's so charming and funny and like and relatable and quirky and stuff. So it was just really easy to connect with her. And Woody's so grounded and so down to earth and so empathetic and human and peaceful. Like, he just had a peaceful vibe, like a butterfly could land on him. Like, you know, so it's very easy. Same with Daniel. Daniel's so like, it's so funny. Daniel is funny to me because he's the type of person I feel that is very present. Mm-hmm. He's very present and very, and also grounded, but like, he's very aware of what's going on, and I love that because it makes for some really funny exchanges.
I like that because you need that. Everyone's different personality. You need to feed off on each other, and you can see that on set. Like, you can see full screen how much you guys love each other and the support that's there. So my last question for you is, if you could tell Dru anything, you as yourself, Lovell, if you could say anything to your character, what is it that you would want to say?
I would say, remember what's most important to Dru. I would say, remember what's most important. Remember why you're even able to create art and be in this position. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of families that, you know, are crime families or have to resort to a life of, you know, street life and crime, don't have the things that our family has, right? They don't have, you know, yeah, father's in jail, but he's still accessible. We can still talk to him, go visit him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, we have the three of us. We have Monet, such a powerful woman, a powerful mother figure in our lives. And we have clothes, we have cars, we have money. You know what I mean? Some people are like still on the ground level, you know, working in the streets and all that stuff. So remember that. Remember your privilege, I guess. It's like, you know, yes. So even if you're like, you know, don't want to do something and you're in the street and you don't want to be and all those kind of things, like, remember that, like, could be a little worse, you know?
It could be. It so could be. Well, congratulations so much on your being Dru in Power 2. And I just want to say thank you for being a character that represents. I know that the scenes had social media going crazy, but I'm all for pushing the envelope. I'm all for representation. And honestly, that's going to set you up because there's people like when we watch Brokeback Mountain and things like that, you know what I mean? And those are some true actors. So congratulations to you. And I can't wait to see where you end up.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I received that and I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you, everybody, for watching Urban News. I'm Dantee Ramos, and we're out.